Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're anything like me, you might have recently found yourself in the possession of a lot of orcs. And in this video I'm going to show you how to paint them up nice and good like. We're going to be relying heavily on speed paints to make this happen, and so we're going to start with a grey undercoat and then dry brush up with some Ushabti bone. What this is going to let us do is make the speed paints really work. It's going to do some essentially pre-highlighting for us. You might have come across this method before, it's very similar to your slap chop. So first using Ushabti bone and then going up again with a pure white on those most prominent of raised edges. From there we're going to start with our paints. I'm starting with a orc skin to cover all the orc flesh colour. This is a relatively dark green, and what we're going to do later is touch it up with some highlights. The skin's where we're going to spend most of our attention in this model. But for now, make sure you're just covering all the surfaces nice. Remember to make sure you have a decent amount of paint on your brush to make the speed paints work properly. For the rest of his clothes, basically pick whatever colours you want. For his trousers, I'm going for some camo cloak. Maybe this guy stole some off someone. And while I have that out, I'm going to paint one of his grades in that same army green. And then moving on to a dark wood to paint his top. Again, making sure that we have plenty of paint in the brush to make sure that the speed paint can work nicely. And I'm also going to do his boots in the same colour. Moving on from that, we're going to do some straps in hardened leather. So this is going to be his gun strap, his belt, and other bits and pieces as well. The other large bit we're going to fill in with this lighter brown is his backpack. And you'll notice it goes on really nicely, especially after the dry brushing we did. Same on his helmet here as well. And you'll find this really satisfying to put on underneath that prep work. Moving on to pallid bone to cover his arm wraps. I think this contrasts quite nicely with the colours we've used so far. And we're also going to use the same colour to cover in his teeth. After that, just going to use some polished silver to fill in the metal bits. So that's going to include things like the axe head, the big shoulder pad that he has, which we'll add some colour to later. Various gribblies like the other grenades he has in his backpack, his belt buckle, and also the gun itself. And for now, just going to cover that entire thing in that silver. Don't forget, this guy is he's a naughty git, and so he's got some steel-capped toes. Feet, even. Shoes. And so we're going to cover that too. Then using a light brown wash just to add a little bit of depth, a little bit of grime and dirt to all those silver areas. Orcs probably don't keep their gear in that good condition. And now we're going to move back and do some highlighting with some moot green. Water this down nicely and then go over the raised areas of the skin in order to make that pop a little bit more. What we're utilising here is a trick that I like to use. We're not going to spend very much time on this model overall, but by doing one set of colours in a good amount of detail, usually a prominent colour like skin for this guy, it can really help elevate that entire model. And so we're just going around various raised bits of his skin, working over that speed paint that we used earlier. Again, this is a part that I find really satisfying, but take your time with it as well. If you need to, you can build up multiple layers of that same moot green, and here you can see me just going over the face again, picking out the most raised points. Next we're going to use some Mephiston red, but any colour will do, and stipple it on to parts of the metal, just to add a bit of variety. The stippling works really well for orc stuff, because they're not going to be very tidy, and so we're going to add it to his gun casing, and also his shoulder pad. And there we have our guy. So that has been an Ork Boy. That took me maybe 10 to 15 minutes. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll be trying to put out more similar stuff in the future.